Welcome to the Think Factory podcast. We got one question for you. What keeps you up at night?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Think Factory podcast powered by OGC Solutions. I'm here today with actually one of my law partners and good friend, Susan Nofi. So how you doing today, Susan?
I'm well, Chris. How are you?
Pretty good. And, thanks to the wonders of technology, Susan and I can connect, even though I'm in New Jersey and Susan's down in Atlanta, heading up our Atlanta function. So what's interesting about Atlanta, by the way, is that the Printing United conference is coming up in October, which we're really excited about. But I actually got a comment from a friend not that long ago that said, hey, why is a law firm, OGC Solutions, going to a print trade show? And why, what's up with this Think Factory podcast? And so I thought it might be just a good time to sit with Susan, introduce her and what we do, and talk about how we're getting ready for Printing United. Sound good, Susan?
Absolutely. It'd be a good conversation.
I think so. I think it's pretty clear, or at least I hope it is, that we're really dedicated to the printing and packaging industries, representing not only printers and packaging companies, but also equipment manufacturers. And that's a good segue into Susan talking about her long dedication to the printing industry and where she came from. Susan, just talk a little bit about how you got into print.
Sure. I got into print the way a lot of people did. I kind of just walked in the door right now it's about 35 years ago. And believe it or not, answered an ad in the paper as a young lawyer and wound up leaving 31 years later as a senior vice president and general counsel at Heidelberg. And during those years, from the 1980s all the way through to 2020s, grew up with the print industry and went from rotary presses all the way through to the digital age, and saw a lot of growth through the 80s and 90s, and then as the people part of the industry contracted and everybody found new ways to invent themselves. It was a tremendously exciting period. Just new technologies and the way everybody developed. And it was a journey that, as a lawyer, was incredible, and excited now to bring all of that experience to other companies to continue to grow them in the new world of print, which is truly exciting.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And, that's one of the reasons that we love going to Printing United is that's really the showcase show to see what's new, what's different. You might have seen, one level of technology some years ago, but today it's everything from the more traditional business, the offset business, all the way through digital print, garment printing, screen printing. Even robotics, software, workflows. I mean, it's all there at Printing United, and it is the show, in my opinion.
It's where printers have always gone to see what's new in the industry, to meet one another, to meet the equipment manufacturers, but also to network with one another. I'm so happy that Printing United came together to continue this tradition. And printers were deciding whether or not trade shows was the place to be, and it certainly has proven to be the case. And bringing the industry together shows printers that expanding their universe and the types of businesses that they need to be in and reach out to is where it's happening. And certainly our skills span all of those different media. So just very excited that it's on my home turf, and excited to see some old friends and meet some new ones.
For sure. I thought I'd just give 30 seconds or more, maybe a little bit more, about how Susan and I met, and then OGC Solutions, and then just round it out by talking about the podcast. And I'll say it again later, but we're actually going to record episodes of the Think Factory podcast with attendees, that is exhibitors as well as printers, on the show floor. So if you're listening to this podcast and you'd like to be interviewed to showcase your company at Printing United, we'd love to hear from you. So just a quick background on how Susan and I met. So I've been the general counsel for Agfa Graphics, both the offset business and the inkjet business, since 2007. And Susan and I met because Agfa and Heidelberg have a long-standing relationship with each other. And when Susan was ready to come over after leaving Heidelberg, I couldn't wait for her to join the team because of all that experience that she has in the printing and packaging industries. And so just a bit about OGC Solutions. So Susan and I are really general counsels for companies. But what happens in the mid-market and with emerging companies is that those companies don't have the luxury of hiring someone like Susan to be their quarterback on legal issues. And so they either don't use lawyers at all, they don't use them when they should, or they only use them in emergencies, which is not really the best way to use a lawyer. And so when I was at Agfa, I created this model called OGC Solutions, which was intended to bring the idea of a legal department to the mid-market. And so what we do for Agfa, as well as lots of other companies in the printing and packaging spaces and others, is to offer our team of 20 lawyers, including Susan and myself, as your legal department, with us as your point person or your general counsel. And what makes us different is not only that team approach and the deep industry experience, but also our ability to offer clients a fixed fee. So they know every single month and every single year what their legal expenses are. And it doesn't vary, even if there's busy periods. What that means is that they can call us for just about everything that they need. And our team has really got every single skill set that you need for a mid-market company, everything from employment to real estate, product liability, trademarks, commercial litigation, and everything else in between, contracts for sure. Lots of deep contract work, both preparation and negotiation, et cetera. And what we do as the legal department and the general counsel is really to help your business flow without issues, help you minimize risk, help you get deals closed a lot faster, more efficiently with a partner, someone sitting at the executive table that knows your business, has gotten close to your business just because of the fixed fee, really. As Susan, as you know, clients really bring us in more often and earlier just because they know they can without having to worry about the clock ticking all the time.
Exactly. It's disconcerting to say, gee, I should, I've got this thing burning in my mind that I think can improve my business. But if I pick up that phone, the clock starts ticking with a lawyer, and it's really not that important. So I'm not gonna spend that money, or I'm not going to incur that. The beauty of OGC Solutions is a company gets the same advantages as Heidelberg, for example, got with me sitting in the office. You can have the conversation and say, I'm thinking about this. It's keeping me up at night. What do you think, about this? Can we improve this in any way? I see this happening with my sales force, or I see this happening with my employees, or I see this, can I improve this contract so I have a better relationship with this customer? And those simple conversations are included in your fee. There's no additional cost, and we can help you find a solution for that thing that's keeping you up at night.
Absolutely. And mergers and acquisitions are a big part of our practice as well. And so if you're thinking about growing with an acquisition or two or three, or you're at the stage of your business where you'd like to think about exiting with a transaction, we're more effective than the average lawyers, I think, just because we know the industry, we know the ins and outs of what happens at a print shop or a big printing facility, and we can help you make sure that transaction happens without too many hitches.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And without the, a lot of times firms that don't know you really well, or firms that don't know the industry, do something that we call over lawyering. And one of the advantages of having outside general counsel solutions is that we lawyer to you. We lawyer specific for your needs, and we don't wind up over lawyering to protect something that isn't really there. We can see the issues, we can address the issues, and we become faster, we become more efficient, and we really address the issues that are important to your business. And so that becomes invaluable to fast-moving businesses as the print industry is.
I couldn't agree more. And when you and I sat across the table at some business meetings years ago, I mean, I knew from the beginning that you were business minded that way. We don't just invite any lawyer to join our team. They have to be like you in the sense that they think like we do. We want to do business, and we just want to be a business partner, protect people's interests, but not act like a traditional lawyer, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
So that's a great segue, I think, into the Think Factory podcast. So if you're listening to this on another platform, there's a website called thethinkfactory.com where you can access the podcast episodes. But you might ask, well, why do we do it? And so as general counsel for companies, both inside as we had been and outside as we are now, you learn really quickly that every single person on the executive team is responsible not only for what they do day in and day out, in our case, legal stuff and regulatory things, but they're really supposed to promote the company and find opportunities, and where there's an introduction to be made or a way to spotlight or showcase the company and talk about the products and what's great about the company. The general counsel has that responsibility too. And you got to be a business person first and a lawyer at the same time. And so we really took that to heart a couple of years ago and started to spotlight printers and packaging companies and and equipment manufacturers, talking about what they do, and giving them a showcase in front of our client base and beyond. We thought, well, we could do a little bit more to create conversations and opportunities for people to talk about what they love talking about, which is their companies and their businesses, and give them another platform. And that's really what the Think Factory podcast is all about. It's a platform that gives people a voice. It gives them exposure to new clients and customers that they wouldn't otherwise see, and just gives them a chance to let their hair down, so to speak, and talk comfortably in a setting with people who know their business and want to help them grow. At the end of the day, OGC Solutions is really a growth vehicle in a sense for companies. We want to help you grow, and we want to protect your interest as you do it. The Think Factory podcast is just another slice of that. There's no charge, no obligation, to work with our firm, but what we want to do is use it as a vehicle to spotlight conversations about interesting things so that people can learn a little bit as well, and again, allow companies to spotlight themselves. And so what we decided to do this year, and which we're so excited about, is to partner directly with the Printing United Alliance and be on the floor of the show with a booth, microphones, mic stands, and the whole and headphones and the whole thing, and really talk to people that are there at the show, excited about what they see, and hopefully make some connections for them. Because what we'll do is, record actual episodes, just like we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Susan, I can't think of a better way to just have conversations with folks and maybe give them a little value along the way.
Absolutely. I mean, we're not a marketing company by any means, but new audiences for any business is valuable. And if we can provide a new audience for businesses in the industry that we love so much, that's certainly valuable. And to have a conversation about things that executives, again, find top of mind and what they want to express about their growth opportunities and where they see the industry going helps us as well. So whenever you have a win-win situation, there's value there, and we're so happy to be able to bring that to Printing United.
Yeah, and as you said, it's about learning too. I every time I've done an episode, I've learned something new about the business. I can think back to the interview we did with American Litho in the Chicago area. Frank Agostegui was a tremendous interview, and learning about the more than we already knew about the inside baseball, if you will, for the direct mail business. But Frank is a great example of somebody who's so passionate about it too. And when people get the opportunity to talk about what they do in a forum like this, you can see that excitement come out, and they really just love to share their knowledge and share their experiences.
And the format of a podcast is so inviting also for the younger generation. And one of the things that I have seen, even in companies that I know and am familiar with, is the influx of young people, well, younger than you and I, Chris, into the industry, and what they find exciting about it, and walking the floor and doing the podcast just introduces us to that energy and introduces them to the legacy that of the industry that they're a part of. So the learning is so universal. It's very exciting.
Yeah, and I hope that some of the younger folks that are coming out of college, maybe, or out of high school, could not only listen to what we're talking about, but see what goes on at Printing United, to see how it's not your father's print industry anymore, so to speak.
Absolutely. And Printing United and the trade show in general has always reached out to the younger generation. So to show that there are professionals of all veins, including lawyers who are not viewed by the young generations interested in print as being creative. We are here, and we are being creative, and we are a resource for them as well to succeed. So again, a new audience for the podcast.
Agreed. So listen, let's sum up by just saying to anyone who listens to this, if you haven't registered for Printing United already, you're going to miss out. So make sure you do that at printingunited.com. The show, the Printing United Expo, is October 18th to the 20th. We're going to be there all 3 days, recording episodes and talking to hopefully some of the folks that'll listen to the podcast. But we'd invite you to reach out and schedule a podcast in advance. We'll make sure that we can accommodate your schedule. So with that, I'll end for today. Susan Nofi, thank you so much for joining me this morning. And we look forward to seeing everybody at the Printing United Expo. This is, again, Chris Santomassimo from OGC Solutions, and we'll see you next time.